Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Historic Commission meeting for April 11th, 2024. Location Douglas Town Hall, Resource Room. Can we approve the minutes of February 7th meeting, which Dawn has so kindly forwarded to us a while ago?
And I have a copy here if anybody didn't get it.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, so Becky, you need me to add the minutes or the agenda?
Both.
Minutes and the agenda from February.
Yep. So we've got the agenda in there, but we don't have the meeting minutes for
Okay,
February, and we don't have the agenda for today.
okay, I think I was under the impression that we needed to wait till they were approved to add, but anyway.
Oh, to throw them in the drive? I don't
Yeah.
think we need to wait for them to be
Okay.
approved. I think we can just throw them in there.
Okay. Okay, and then the agenda for today is,
New members. Which one are you, sir?
I'm Scott.
Scott Garland?
Scott
Okay.
Garland is our newest member. So, and then Christy Turgeon was also accepted, so, but Scott, because he was kind of in first, is taking Betsy's spot, who hasn't been active.
Right.
And then once David resigns, Christy can come on.
Right, okay.
And she would have been here, Christy would have been here like as a participant if she didn't have to work, but. So, let's see, I don't think we have a, so the next thing on the agenda was to look at the historic district progress.
Right.
But David, I don't think I have a spot on here about, oh yeah, so that was next steps for your resignation and handing over information.
Yep,
So you wrote up the letter that you shared with us,
yes, which you sent to me.
kind of basic. So that needs to go to the Board of Selectmen.
Right, which I will do in the next day or so.
Okay, but what we need is a date for Christie, so Christie knows when she can fill your spot.
Say April 15th.
Okay. Okay, all right, so we'll let her know.
Yep. And I can send her, I got your email, so I can send that along to her.
Okay,
Here is my assessment of the properties downtown. 95% of them are fine. I modified. My, to say no style, to me is bad
yeah,
verbiage. So take it out whenever we can. I don't know if we can add something like industrial, commercial, because the number of properties that are no longer viable is even Victorian vernacular. They're garages, they're barns, they're not really of any particular style.
yeah.
So in those cases, I pretty much cross them out. We'll work back and forth on that as you go through this. But I've gone through everything, and I changed a few of them. Some of them were a little bit off, some were close. Most of them are, again, 95% of the properties are spot on. And I don't think the MHC is going to have any issue with any of that. But I made a few changes where I thought was inappropriate.
The no style came directly from the Macris site.
I realize that.
And it's funny because if you look at Belding reports on the Macris site, Belding would normally put vernacular or something like that, and the Macris changed it to no
No
style.
style, yes.
Yeah, so that's where it gets tough because, I mean, Macris at the end of the day ends up being the final say.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
And they're the ones who are doing the no style, so.
It's just a bad phrase.
And I started going
Right.
through that, I started going through that drive when I was looking at some of the B forms, and to me, a lot of it's colonial. Because
Yeah, a lot of it's colonial. And that colonial covers a lot of stuff. So again, most of the properties in town, we have a lot of good historic properties that are of a certain style from 1750 to 1950. So I don't have any qualms about what we have in place. So this
Okay.
is,
So Scott,
pass that along.
Becky set up a drive, a Google Drive, which will give you the I don't remember ever giving you the password.
No.
She's been really organized and making sure that we can all,
And there's some
all
that
the
we can
agendas
work
are
through.
in there, this whole historic district, all the forms are in there. The Google Drive, we can all just see it in real time.
We also have annual reports, member information, maps, any Douglas history that shows up, anything we get from the Mass Historical Commission, anything in town that's gone through the National Register of Historic Districts, and then just random articles of interest. We can also do it so we can share it to you and do you use Google Drive at all?
No, but I use Google, so,
Okay, so we can shoot it, we can also share the link to you so you can get in on your own,
okay.
which might be the better way to do it.
Okay.
That way, whenever anybody makes changes, we see who's making them and it's not just,
Right. I'm looking, I must have like 474 notes. And I'm trying to look it up by Douglas, but that's really,
I can share the Google Drive. I'll take care of that.
we might as well add Christie too.
Okay. Yep, I can take care of that later today.
And I find that I just basically I just open up a whole new Google profile, and that's an easier way to do it. Then it goes right there.
David, you might know, what does a ball field, okay, so we've got like structure, object, burial ground. What would the ball field count as?
I don't know.
I mean,
It's an anomaly in the town.
Yeah, that would be a good.
I just didn't know if you had an idea, you know what I mean? It doesn't fit under like their normal,
Criteria, because it's not a building.
it's not a building.
There are some
Like,
buildings along the side.
yeah.
I mean, you've got the grandstand, you've got the dugouts, but there's not like it's the ball field as a whole.
Right.
What are the other, what are the designations through through Macris?
Hold on.
Because there has to be something called site.
What happens when you have a cemetery?
That's a burial
Cemetery is
site.
on there, yeah.
But it actually goes as a burial
And as far
site.
as we know, no one's buried there.
Right.
Okay.
Only baseball.
Area?
Area.
Nope, I don't know if I think the area refers to like the whole, I think.
district.
The district. That's what I think the area is the district.
I would send that question to Ben.
Yeah, because we've got area,
Right, so yeah,
building,
that's an
burial
unusual,
ground,
we have an unusual
object,
situation. yeah.
structure.
So yeah, send that off to Ben and say, what do you think this designation would be?
Yeah, because like I said, that was one, I was adding objects, I was adding the monuments and stuff, and that one came up, and I'm like, I don't know what this would be. And like I said, at first I thought area, but whenever I looked at any other areas, they were referring
It has
to
to be
like.
covered before, because many towns have ball fields. Yeah,
Right.
so,
Rick, how are you getting online?
It's Douglas Guest, and it's lowercase Douglas, capital MA19.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so we'll need to contact Ben about the ball field. Okay.
Ben Haley, I've had his email in my inbox since January. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I can, do you want me to pull up things on Drive?
So I've got the updated ones here too. And I've got some updated B forms.
So, bleh. So where we stand now, so just to show Scott the, you can give him the Excel file. And so basically this,
It's multiple pages so that it could be readable.
one, yeah, one copy so we have it all, but, so there's these forms that the Mass Historical Commission needs us to do to get the downtown district, and we had started with what's called a B form, a building form.
Yep.
You've got one there.
Yep, here's, let me do one that's actually clean.
Which is the individual building, Scott, but and we've done those for hundreds of properties downtown, so it's like Main Street with the offshoots from there. And it's been many years process. So then we realized that we really needed to do the area form, which is what that Excel sheet is. So that's basically, we don't need to do every single property for that B form, but we need to do the area form for everything, which has the columns that are there, which is basically like, you know, what's the historical significance, when was it built, you know, the building style that we were just talking about. I can't seem to get online. I think it was there for a minute though.
So then so the A form, that is the inventory for the A form. And then when we actually do the A form, we have to include information about why are we picking this area. We're doing downtown Douglas because that's the mill district. And for us, it covers 2 time periods. So a lot of the houses we're picking cover those 2 time periods. So that's how we're trying to get this done.
So where we left a couple of meetings ago, Becky and I were we wanted to do a few representative properties on the
Right.
B forms. So we split up those 39 properties, I think, or thereabouts, to get those in good shape. But I sort of dropped the ball on my part. I thought I sent you an email, I thought late last night, but it didn't go till this morning.
Nope, I got it twice.
Okay.
I got it late last night and I got it this
Okay.
morning.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm lost. And
We'll go over after the
Okay.
meeting. I'll go over everything with you.
Okay. All right, so, but anyway, within the next week or two, we should be able to get our representative forms and fill in what David gave written on the building types.
Yep.
So, and then images are a big part of that. Chris Bilodeau very kindly gave us a drone shot from downtown. And then we're gonna do fill in a few more of the individual property photos that we need to get, like,
Which we need to get the answer from Ben on what photos we need.
okay.
Because we don't know if, so when Ben is the contact at the Mass Historical Commission, and he told us to look at the Lenox Historical Commission, their downtown district. He said for us to use that as our example. Thank you. And they look to have done a lot of pictures. They look to have done pretty much a picture of every contributing property. So we need to find out from Ben whether or not we need to get pictures of all of our contributing properties.
Yeah. And we have various photos that have been taken either years ago or
Right.
that are on the town site, but I don't know, we're all kind of thinking that we might want to just do one more round, because one, it's been a while and some of the quality is not that great. And they weirdly want it like very physical. It's not like so digital. They
Yeah.
want it
There-
physical photo.
And we ended up having 200, so the district that we outlined has 250 properties. Of that 250 properties, 228 of them are contributing.
Okay.
We picked our cutoff was 1970. The reason why we used 1970 as the cutoff is because there was a lot from the mills during the 1940s that after World War II kind of popped up from the mill era. So Douglas had the two main mill eras. The first one was during the 1800s with the Douglas Axe Manufacturing Company. And the second one was the late 1800s up till really, I think Schuster stayed strong until, oh no, probably until 70s.
Okay.
The Schuster mills, the woolen mills, the Hayward Woolen and the
Yeah.
Schuster, they were there until the 1950s, 60s, they were still going strong. They stayed open until 83, but really, so we used 1970 as our cutoff date.
Okay.
Okay.
Because there were a couple of properties in that really spoke to the mill era in that time period.
So NC is non-contributing?
Yes.
Is that, it's not because of the year built, it's,
No, it's pretty much year built.
okay.
Why, is there one you have a question on?
Well, just for example, 10 Mechanic Street is NC 1944 per assessor.
Then that should not have been marked NC. That was an oops.
Okay.
10 Mechanic, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 16383.
What year did we use as the cutoff for contributing?
I thought we picked 1970.
For some reason, I
Yeah.
thought we were
It would have
cutting
been,
it off before then.
it would have, we went back and forth on this quite a few times.
Yeah.
We ended up with 1972 as well.
Yeah, because our options were 1900 to 1945, and then 46 to 70. That's how we
Yeah, okay.
differentiated.
For some reason, I thought we had gone with the first one, where we ended in the.
At
40s.
45?
I thought so.
I think we ended at 70 because we looked at it being 70 was 50 years back. And when they did the original when the Belding report was originally done, all the historic homes were considered older than 50 years. So I think that was one of the reasons why we went with
Okay.
1970.
I just don't recall that, that's all. David, do you remember what year range we chose for the
That's
cutoff?
1970, yeah.
70, okay. I don't know why I don't remember that. I guess because we went back and forth.
Yeah.
So 10 Mechanic. All right, that's been updated in the sheet now.
I'm looking again at Ben Haley's email from January. The area form need not include photographs of every resource, but it does need to include a number of general context photos and photos of key/representative resources. These can include best examples of style or type for buildings or other interesting resources. So that, it's open to interpretation, but
Yeah.
that kind of answers
Yeah.
it.
Sorry, I'm trying to get there on the Lennox one. Okay, so,
And this is the photo of that, the drone shot.
Yeah, I saw that.
Everything.
I don't know
but
where I
it's-
saw that, but I saw your, one of your posts on that.
Okay, yeah, and that'll be a really nice one to include as a representative, but we could also maybe take a traditional shot
I
downtown.
wonder if there's any way to like pin, like if you.
Like mark the photo about the area.
Yeah, like in the
So-
end, have a pinnable,
One of the,
Image.
one of,
there is.
one of the problems we're having is this is our area. What's outlined in,
Oh, okay.
in the pink. And if it was just here, we'd do great. Problem is the Schuster Woolen
Oh,
is here.
yeah.
So it goes out to here. So the problem is, we're not getting a good
Yeah.
drone shot
Sure.
of the full area because of this street
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, and this was approved, by the way, by the MHC, Scott, like, because it's an odd shape. We're like, can we do a shape like this?
Yep.
We went back and forth a couple times.
And once we explained why we needed to include this, they understood what we were doing. So one of the things we talked about was possibly getting a drone shot from here,
Yep.
here, and possibly here, if we can, once we know what we wanted, once we know
Yeah, so
exactly.
what, rather than going back to Chris a few times, because he's our expert with the drone
Yeah.
shots.
Thank you.
We figured like if, kind of, once he's doing it again, or if he has one, like explain the shots that we need ideally if we can get them.
He seems to shoot them like every few weeks. Anyway, I'm just saying.
So I don't think it'll be hard to get, but rather than
Yeah.
going back.
And on Easter Sunday, you saw what I meant about downtown.
Yeah, so.
Deserted.
Yeah, I was gonna offer my husband, because he really likes to take photos, and then, I was like, we can just go around, I'll just offer him up to take some of the photos, and then, like, to get downtown, Becky was like, if you do it on a holiday, there's like nothing downtown, and there really isn't.
As long as it's not Memorial Day. Memorial Day.
Excuse me.
Holiday.
Well, the other thing is tree cover. If you can get it when there's no tree cover.
Right,
Yeah,
It's time to shoot now.
Yeah.
it is time to
Before
shoot
the
now.
trees leaf out.
When they leaf out.
But the problem is, like, it's tough because you also
You don't want it
want,
to be ugly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Lennox ended up doing what appears to be about 40 pictures.
Oh.
Oh, only 45 minutes?
Yep. And I can't, I'm just doing quick, so I'm not sure how many contributing properties they actually ended up with. Okay, they had 277 contributing properties.
So similar size.
Yep, so, and they did 40.
Okay. And that's funny, because we had, well, I had 23 listed, but somehow I also had 39 in my head that we were.
Um, You ended up with, yeah, I think we were just doing those just to get some updated forms.
Yeah.
I don't think those were the ones we were necessarily going to pick. I think what we almost need to do is some of us need to almost do like a tour of the properties and be like, this is what we want to pick for our contributing.
And then maybe do photos at the same time.
Yeah, but I think we need to, I think either whether we do it like, or we do like a Google Maps tour of the town and be like, this is what we think would be a good example.
Yeah.
If I remember right, one of the things we also talked about is while we want to highlight the good, we do also need to highlight a little bit of the bad,
Yeah.
and we do need to highlight the change. And like I said, I think I told you I was working on that project with one of our patrons. And do you know that the Elmwood Club actually had another entrance on the side? Yeah, like, there's a huge part of that building that's been changed that people don't, so there's a lot of those kind of changes that by doing this project, I'm starting to
Yeah.
see, so that might be good also for like trying to pick out the ones that have changed.
Yeah, okay. So I wrote down good, bad, and the ugly.
Good, bad, ugly, and drastic changes. So yeah, like I said, they did 40. We probably, and when we're doing it, we probably want to make sure we highlight town properties.
Town-owned properties.
Yeah. Or like churches, we want to make sure we highlight like.
Yeah, civic buildings, yes.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That's,
Yeah.
Anchor buildings that are downtown, yes. The church, historic society, library, yeah, all those things that they're intact and in good shape and contribute well.
Yeah, like, yeah, anchor is a good, that. Okay. So, all right, so once I do the rest of those B forms, then we're ready for, I think we're ready for a preliminary look with Ben, no?
Yeah, because he said, once we had the completed, not the completed A form, the completed inventory, right?
Okay.
Is that what he's,
I've got his email again right here. So
it was almost a year and a half ago, I think we talked to him, that's the problem.
no, it was January of 2024.
Oh,
There should be a data sheet in the area form listing all resources regardless of age, organized by street address, parcel, blah, 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 style and photo. The photo key should be based on the map showing building footprints. All right, so we need to do a map as well, which we have.
Which we have.
Just
yeah.
getting it in a readable format.
The problem is that map was, I ended up having to do a lot of cutting and pasting on that map.
Okay.
Because it's such an awkward shape.
Yeah. Well, we also have resources down this hall if we wanted to get a big map. And I have something, I don't have it with me, but we have like a larger map that they put together for us. And maybe that.
Well, that was a lot, that was also done with, didn't they end up doing that with like legal size paper and taping it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's no different than how I did this, I just did it digital and
It's
they
just
did.
bigger. It's just
Yeah.
bigger if we needed to get it, to mark it, to mark
Yeah.
properties or, highlight it, then it's something that people can.
It's mostly in the immediate downtown area, right? We're not picking out pieces that are on the perimeter, are we?
Do you want to?
Well, unfortunately, we've got to include Schuster's Mill, that's a perimeter.
That's fine, that's one.
And we probably want to include one or two of the housings on Gilboa that are the mill housings.
Yeah, those are in the region.
So, like, those, then we're gonna have the high school / town hall, which is another kind of outside, that's the thing, like, there are some that are gonna be on the outside.
Yep.
Because then we've also have St. Dennis is on, so you've got the town hall on one corner, St. Dennis on one corner, and the mill on another corner. So I'm trying to see, so I've got a clean street map. I can probably get another one. This one doesn't have a high resolution.
That's just, okay.
No, it's one of the ones I had done.
Oh, okay.
Because one of the problems that I found is anytime we try to get like the whole area, they end up getting rid of the streets.
Yes.
Because-
The street names disappear. Yeah.
Or even like the streets, like it ends up being,
Oh, yes.
so like what I ended up having to do is I had to print each screen and put them together so that we could see the streets and the property lines.
Okay, but you're still not seeing the street names on that, are you?
No, that's the problem.
That's why I'm thinking that paper map might, I don't remember offhand, but it might show them because of the
Well,
size.
But we're going to need to be able to send this to Ben, that's the problem. And that we're not going to be able to. So I can do,
Do we just, someone with nice handwriting can fill in the street names? I don't know.
after I've done it once, I'm good at this stuff. I can probably do a bigger version.
Okay,
Like I said, this is a small one. I can probably do a bigger version
okay.
where,
So one thing I'm a little unclear on, like you've got a lot of good digital resources, but do they want everything physical or just some things?
well, you can still, this can be printed if they want it on paper.
Right, right.
And if you look at how Lennox had done it,
Wish we could project.
I know. It's getting in the way, it won't stay.
Do you all want to sit in a row? You're worse than me, you've got 2 drinks.
One's water, one's coffee. Okay, so,
So Lennox has a really long, like, narrative about the whole thing.
yeah, which we've also got to work on our narrative, but I've found some great resources for that as well.
Other than ChatGPT.
Okay, I wish they would do things. So see, here's how Lennox did it.
Yeah, very similar, but they've got it just enough so that you can see
And
the
that's
street
what,
names.
and that's what I said. I just need to redo it. Can everybody see? I just need to redo it so that it's slightly bigger than the
Yes.
version I did.
Okay.
I did it so that I could make it fit.
On that, but I
Like
wonder if
this.
legal would be just big enough, or whatever.
You know what the killer is? It's square. Problem
Yeah.
is, it's, our thing actually ends up fitting in a square object.
Yeah,
So legal that won't matter. It's what I can do on the computer.
Yeah.
So like I said, what I'll do is I will just magnify this up a little bit, so
Yeah.
I've got the street names.
and it goes on to 2 pages or something?
No, we can make it so it'll be on here.
Okay. And that looks like just a Google map, right?
Yep. So that's how that was done.
And that's in the drive.
Yes.
Match Drive, okay. So,
And the thing is, my computer is a small screen. When I'm at the library, I've got the much larger screen.
Yeah.
So I'm able to do a lot more using the screens at work than I am using this.
okay. Okay. So what do we want to do about, so I'll finish the rest of those B forms, and then the area listing is pretty much, just needs to be filled in, last minute things. And then, do we want to do a physical walkthrough, or do we want to do a,
Digital?
yeah? Because Google, what am I trying to say, the Google Earth, right? When you-
Yeah, Google Maps will give us an idea of what the buildings look like.
All right, I'm gonna vote for digital,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm okay with
because
digital.
otherwise it's like half a day.
So we would need
Do
to,
we need like to do detailed pictures though, like that we might
well-
want to get physically or?
Well,
Well,
I've
I
sent a
thi-
bunch of photos to you already.
yeah, but what we can do is we can pick out the properties on the Google, as opposed to going and looking at 250
Yeah,
properties in
right,
person.
right.
We look at them online and we're like, okay, that'll be a good property to do, that'll be a good property
Right.
to do. And then just those properties, our pictures are taken.
Right.
Right.
So we'll be able to narrow them down. When we do this, we need to make, so this, now we get into the, I'm gonna need a way I can project onto something. Clearly, easily, and move things around.
Right.
So, I
You
don't,
could do a Zoom with a screen share. That's probably what I'd recommend, because that would put it on this large screen that's like behind on. And you can just screen share it from your computer to that, if you do a Zoom.
So it has to be Zoom to do it that way?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But that's easy, just like when we schedule the meeting, we just need to put in there that there needs to be a Zoom link, and then it'll be set up.
Do you happen to know who sets as the,
Pat sets it up, Pat Aldrich, so,
Okay.
yeah, Cable will set up the Zoom, but I think you have to put it in the agenda that there's a Zoom, but I mean,
Yeah.
we're kind of just using it for us, like. it's
yeah,
not
we're
like
using it as
gonna
a,
have
we're
public
using it as a
attention,
projection, not as
But I
a,
would just
Right, right,
let them know that
Might
you
as well
need
do
a
it
Zoom.
above board and just get that
Yeah.
ahead of time and,
Right, and
Okay.
just say you need a Zoom, and it's easy to just, get on Zoom with your laptop and then just screen share it to,
yeah.
and then it'll actually go into the program as well, so
Into the program.
Yeah,
It'll,
when
the video
when it
recording.
airs. Yeah, you can switch to that screen.
And so then, like I said, what we'll do is we'll Zoom, we'll do the digital walkthrough of the properties, we'll pick, I mean, they picked 40, I think 40 might be a good number.
Yeah, I think we're gonna end up, because we did 23, but I can see us going through and being like, oh, that one needs to be there.
Right,
Even
right.
in like, these are the interesting ones, is we don't have like a good representative mill.
Yeah, we just kind of picked properties to try and get some updated B formed.
Yeah.
So we'll get clean pictures, we'll go through, we'll pick them, Fred can get pictures,
Yeah,
we'll know that we can figure out where we want Chris to get the drone shots for us.
Yeah.
So our next meeting, why don't we make that the primary purpose of the next meeting? And probably be more of a working meeting than a commission meeting,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
makes sense to me, but we'll still, do the agenda and whatever.
Yeah.
And then hopefully, I don't know, well, we'll get to that, like scheduling the next one, let's
Yep.
get to the end, but, okay, that sounds like a plan.
Good.
Other topics related to historic preservation in town, Does anybody?
The only thing I was thinking of is, we had started to discuss the plaque for Soldiers Field.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to get on RecCom's agenda. They hadn't met for a while, so now they're starting to meet again because it's summer. So I'm going to send them another email and see if we can hop on one of their agenda.
Poke.
Yeah, and then maybe like, just a couple of us could go and
Yeah.
explain what we want to do and maybe find some examples, and I don't
They'd
know.
have nothing there right now?
They have nothing that
Okay,
shows,
okay.
yeah, so we wanted to just put a little
Sure,
something,
yeah.
just so when you're there, you know
Yep.
where you are.
Oh my,
So, yeah, so I'll reach out to their chairman and try to get on their agenda, and maybe
Okay.
if just a couple of us want to go and,
Yeah,
you know.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
And I had the pricing, rough pricing too.
oh, awesome, yeah, so if we can bring that as well,
Yeah.
That's good, yep.
yeah.
and I've got a picture from the 46, an aerial
Awesome.
shot from the 46 game.
Oh, awesome,
really?
because
Yeah, from the loom fixer that the Schuster Mill used to put out. They've got an aerial shot from the 46.
that would be awesome if we could put like a picture with the plaque, to,
Yeah, some of those have photos.
yeah, I like those
Yeah.
are nice.
Okay, so also, Dick Skinner stopped by the library wanting to get some photographs of the old grammar school when it opened. They have 2 people interested in buying it.
Ooh,
Wow.
all right.
Apartments, condos are the possibility.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay.
They wanted to see what it originally looked like.
I've seen old postcards.
That's all I got, old
Yeah.
postcards.
No, I've actually got 2 old photographs.
Yeah, that's
at
about
the-
all I have.
Yep.
it one interior, did you say?
No, they wanted the exterior.
Okay,
The
Postcards,
little
yes.
porch on the front before that was taken off.
Yep.
okay.
So they wanted that. So, I mean, that's a positive.
That's
that
great, it's great,
People might be looking, I mean,
finally, after 40 years,
Right, yes.
lead
Fif-
remediation
50
and bringing it up to code.
79 it closed.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just saying,
Same as the eclipse then.
Right.
yeah,
It's great that they have some interest, because I know they did that school building committee, and they didn't, not school building committee, what did they call it?
Yeah.
Old grammar school committee. Yeah.
the problem is, to do anything for us, even if we wanted to tear it down, it would cost the town an arm and a leg.
Exactly.
No matter what would be
And
done.
if they're willing to like keep the shell the same, and if they want to make it look historic, it will, that would improve that.
So when I was talking to
100%.
Dick, I made mention about the center school, and he's like, that one just needs to get torn down. So.
I don't think so.
I agree with-
Personally, I wouldn't vote to tear that down.
I agree with that, so we,
The one in front of the soccer field?
yeah, the old
yeah, the one
VFW.
up
Okay.
where I am, yeah.
So, I mean,
Structurally, it's sound, it just needs total rehab.
total
Right.
rehab, I still think some type of sporting center with the soccer field being behind it and the 2 big rooms, I think it would be a great idea. I just,
No, I wouldn't. No, I don't know, if we should vote on what we feel should happen to these properties, because I know Building and Facilities asked us, and we never really responded to them because we
know.
didn't have a consensus, so. I don't know if we want to try to do that so we can reach back out to them,
It's a good-
because
it's a good
I feel like they're waiting for us in a way. I mean, not waiting for us,
They're doing their own.
they're going to do their own thing, but
Right,
they
right.
did want our input and we never gave it to them.
You're
so.
right, and I think I forget if I
Well-
sent an email or something, but
Well, I think the problem was none of us were able to make it, and then
Right.
and then I think when we met, it was meeting for the new members, and that very little was discussed at that meeting.
right.
Right.
And we have the video of the walkthrough, I don't know if anyone.
I did watch it.
I watched that.
Yep.
Yeah,
too.
watch that,
And then I happened to be at one of the BSCC meetings for the library trustees. And I don't think they voted on anything yet. But I know they have thoughts about what they
Right.
want to do.
Yeah, I know they discussed taking the tower off the old fire station. I think they did vote to do that because
that-
it's a hazard, so.
Yeah, and that makes sense, and
Yeah.
technically
Unavoidable.
the tower was not original to the
Right.
building, that was part of the World War II.
Yeah, right. It is still a little bit of our civil defense history, so, I
Yeah.
mean, I
Yeah.
can see where it contributes in a way, but if it's unsafe, it's unsafe, you
Yeah,
know,
right.
so.
So do we ask to get on that agenda, or do we?
I think it would
official
be,
email?
I think it would be, one or the other would be a good idea, I think. I just feel like we need to like reach out to them in some
Yes,
way and
yeah.
let them know our
You let
thoughts, so.
them, do what you need to do.
Right,
Keep us
I
informed.
mean, whether
Yeah, so
we,
these were the four, I have this was the December 28th meeting that Shirley came to from the building and facility. So it was
Right.
11 Gleason Court, which is the old grammar school, 5 Cottage Street, the fire station, 21 Main, which is Douglas Center School, and 104 Main Street, which is the old Buckeye Pipeline Company.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one that's like set off in the back of the road that most people don't even
Right.
realize is,
right, right.
yeah.
I mean, that, I have no problem if they want to demo whatever's over there, or
Yeah.
do whatever with that, but the fire station
The
The
fire
grammar
station's
school
still in good school.
and the VFW, I wouldn't want to see those
No.
because I think they could be saved. If we want to put in the effort to save them, you know. Or if we want to sell them off and someone else puts in the effort to save them, if
Exactly.
someone wants
Yeah.
to buy
We're
them,
not gonna do
then, you know,
So, like I said, old grammar school, we can never afford to do anything.
right.
This town
But
does not have
if
the
someone
money.
has an interest in buying those
Yeah,
pieces of property, you know, with the restriction that they leave the outside historic, I would.
I don't know that we can get, I don't know that we can
So
do that
where-
kind of
I
restriction.
wouldn't think they would want to, you know, the amount of work to change the facade
Yeah.
is not worth it.
look
That's
at-
all the
I
interior.
just would
Look
want
at-
it to be restricted, like, in
How
a
would-
way
you
that
know,
they
Well,
can't
they're trying to put vinyl on top
buy
of the
it
brick.
and tear it down,
No, they
or, you
wouldn't.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
something like that, but just with some kind of restriction.
You just, look at what they did at the Blanchard School in,
In Northbridge, yeah.
Uxbridge.
Yeah.
Like, it would be something like that.
Right,
The
right.
thing is, that location's not the, nobody's gonna buy that location to tear them down to put an apartment. That's not a great location.
No, no.
Right.
They're buying it for the
But
building.
like the VFW hall, for instance, like I wouldn't want to sell that to someone and have them tear it down and put something else there. Like, I would want to have some kind of restriction where you have to keep the main part of the exterior of that building the same as,
Okay, so,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The problem with that is the exterior of the building is falling apart too. I mean, they took down the, that little balcony
Oh, right.
over the porch a while ago, and I think the porch is even having issues with
This
possible,
is the center school?
yeah.
Okay. So just from knowing what the BFCC is planning, and Matt Wojcik is involved in this, so that's good, because
Right.
we'll, you know, get it to go through, most likely. So the old grammar school, I don't think it was even much of a sale, it was more just like someone who will buy it for $10 and do something that's right.
Right.
Yep.
The selectmen or whatever
Right.
can agree to. And I think, well, I shouldn't put words in anyone's mouth, but, you know, most people would agree to that. The fire station was mostly just taking down that tower and then using it for storage that they need anyway, for
Right.
the fire and all that. The pipeline, it's not really a
Yeah, I
thing.
have no
We
issue
don't need to worry about
with that, yeah.
And then the center school is the one that's the most challenging because there's not a lot of parking. I'm trying to remember exactly what they were thinking about with that one.
There's not a lot of parking. You've got, it's not in the center of town. You've got the VFW field behind it and the cemetery next to it. I mean, there's definitely a couple of
And that old
legit.
house that needs to come down.
That I have no problem with, that
That I think
needs
they're,
to go.
that's not coming down until they need space for the cemetery.
Right.
Right.
That's when that's gonna come down, is when they need to expand the cemetery.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that's holding them up on that is the asbestos. They said that would be very expensive to tear down because
Oh,
they have to
okay.
do asbestos removal first, so.
Okay.
I think that's why that's not gonna move anytime soon.
Yeah, like I said, it'll come down when they need the space
Right.
for the
All right, cemetery.
Yeah.
for the cemetery.
Yeah.
They'll hold off until they need
Right.
it.
So, I don't know, but maybe we should just get on their agenda.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like we should at least,
Make our presence.
have it, right, exactly.
They meet at like 4 o'clock. I don't know if it's a set time.
Yeah, they usually are a 4 o'clock meeting.
What
Which I
day?
can do.
I want to say it's usually,
How do you get to the calendar?
I want to say it's usually Wednesdays.
All right, I'd have to talk to Justin, but I might be able to make it.
Building facilities, April 17th at 4. Is the next one, that's pretty soon. Oh, actually, we couldn't.
Yeah,
get
maybe
that,
we
right?
could,
Is that-
yeah, maybe we could try their next, whatever their next one after.
So it looks like
That one.
Wednesdays at 4. but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's, I don't know
Like
exactly.
how often? I would try to get on, not the 17th, but
Right, but the
whichever the
May-
next one
whatever the
is.
May one is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so I guess, well, I'll reach out to Shirley because she'll know.
yeah, and like I said, let me know and I'll poke Justin if he has a problem with me leaving early to go
Okay.
to the
So
meeting.
it's going to be a Wednesday at 4, I just don't know which one for sure. Okay, all right, so that's the plan. Get on the agenda. Okay, new business. So new roles for 2024. So David, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the time of year, thank you, when like getting to the end of the fiscal year, we need to figure out what's what.
Yep.
who's doing what. for
I retire.
2024.
Yay, congratulations.
Oh, we should run cake.
Right?
So, all right, so current roles, I should know this as the secretary, right? But,
There's, David's the chairman and you're the secretary, I
That's
believe
it.
that's it.
okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
David is chairman and Dawn is the secretary.
I believe I have to bounce out now, so I will see you guys later.
Oh, we might need you to vote, you can't stay.
Oh, okay, we need, we're voting on something?
Yeah, for the roles for 2024.
Oh, okay, never mind, I won't leave until after we're done that then.
So, all right. It's kind of tricky because Christy's not here yet, but I think it's okay. So with David retiring, we have a slot for the chairperson. I don't know if anyone's inclined to be the chairperson. I want to know what's involved.
I'm fine doing it if,
Second.
Okay, I will, let's see, make a motion that Rebecca become the chairperson.
So, seconded.
Aye,
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
In favor?
Aye.
aye.
Okay.
I move that Dawn remains secretary.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And we don't need to worry about treasurer because
We have no money.
we have no money.
Why not?
That makes it easy.
4,500.
We've got
Yeah.
4,900, but
Who does the treasury at the moment?
we don't have.
Oh, we don't?
No.
Okay.
Sean used to be the treasurer
Yeah.
once upon
Oh,
a
okay.
time.
We got that money.
Scott,
8 years later.
Would you like to be the treasurer?
I don't, do we need a treasurer because we have money?
Well, but here's the thing, we are going to be looking to get possible money.
right, yes, we
should
will.
assign someone so we have the role when it's needed, but honestly, it's.
At this point, it's a
Honorarium.
yeah, a
yeah.
formality role than it is.
You want to
a-
make Dawn secretary treasurer,
Could do that.
since it's a
Or we
minor
can,
role at the moment?
well, yeah, I guess we can do that, just so
Yeah.
that way we officially have someone.
Okay, so let's.
I think it's a little cleaner,
That's fine.
yeah.
Redo that vote.
Okay, Move to make Dawn secretary/treasurer.
Second.
Second, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Okay. And then we have Sarah, Scott, and then it'll just be Christie for 2024 as, I don't know what you call it, member.
Regular members,
Yeah,
yeah.
regular, right, regular members. Okay.
Now, you've done the annual report for this.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And will they poke when it's time to do an annual
They
report?
usually
Yeah,
do.
they usually do, yeah. They
Okay.
Send an email or something.
notice months in advance.
Okay.
Okay. All right, if you need to go,
Okay, thank you.
there's still more.
We'll see you guys soon, take care.
Oh, Sarah, just one question about
Sure.
scheduling next time. Like,
Oh, yeah.
do you want to just tell me what's good for your next meeting? When generally you're free?
Generally, I'm free on Thursdays. Pretty much Thursdays is my free day. I can sometimes maybe do Friday. So whatever works for you guys, just let me know and then
Okay, but you're getting
I'll work
into
around it.
busy season.
And
Yeah.
we're just thinking we probably need to have a meeting sooner rather
Right.
than later with
Okay.
everything.
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good usually for Thursdays. I
Okay,
can
Thursdays
probably
are
swing a Friday if Thursday doesn't work for you guys, so.
Okay.
Just keep me posted and I
Okay.
will,
Do we need to hit a button or anything?
nope, I'll come back and do it after.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
All right. All right, so the BFCC meeting from January 2nd, we addressed that and we'll get on the agenda for the
Right.
May, I think, meeting.
Can I ask a question? We're getting on their agenda, but what are we actually going to discuss with them? Because
Yeah, that's
we don't have a consensus on what we think should happen with those
We
buildings.
don't necessarily have a consensus.
So I guess the question is, should we have our meeting, figure out what we think, and then meet with them? Or do we want to try to figure out what we think through email?
I was going to say, if you sent out this basic list to each of us, and let us respond back, and then that'll clean up and save time at a meeting,
Yeah, that sounds good.
just
So
to
we'll email
get some
it.
opinion.
And, full disclosure, my husband's on the BFCC, he filled me in on it. I can tell you where they stand by email, I just don't remember on the center school.
Yeah.
And so I'll email you guys in the next couple days what they're thinking, and then we can give our 2 cents.
Do they have minutes posted?
They must.
They have to.
I'm sure at Shirley's Hall, they definitely do.
Nope, that's not the one I wanted to go to. Here's where I wanted to go.
And that was that was January 2nd that they met, like, that's on it.
Building facilities. Building facilities construction. Is it weird that I didn't realize they were also construction? I guess I'm just,
Confused by that name, so I was like, BFCC, what's that extra C?
they do have meeting minutes on their page on the town website.
Okay.
Their 2024 meeting schedule is actually already posted. They must do everything in advance. May 15th at 4 PM.
Oh, May 15th, okay. May 15th. So,
Their page is much nicer.
like a nice historical. Yeah, so I can make that meeting.
Like I said, I will, May 15th, I need to, like I said, poke Justin to see if
Okay.
I can,
But if not, as long as we have 2 or 3.
yeah, see if I can leave early, May 15th.
So one thing I found as you're doing that, Becky, on the MHC site.
Yep.
For surveys and inventory forms, there's a Form H, Parks and Landscapes. That sounds like.
Ooh.
That might work for the ball field.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
MHC
It certainly
Form
sounds like it
H.
falls into that.
Yep.
I can download it if you need it.
No, I got it right here.
Okay.
Me and the MHC are very good friends.
You know their filing system and everything.
So would that include like the spillway by Cottage Street? Is that the kind of thing? that-
Sure, yeah.
Oh,
Hunt Pond.
No, no work.
Lower Hunts Pond, the one off of Schuster's Mansion.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Okay, so type of landscape: park, green, common, garden, boulevard, parkway, farmland, mine quarry, training field. I,
Didn't hear any of those that
Didn't either.
category.
well, I mean, technically, it could, I think a park/training field, because I mean, it's a ball field.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
park. It's not a green, it's not a garden. Farmland, yeah, I'd say park.
I'd say park or training field.
Where do you see, oh, training field. I don't know what that is.
I think it's honestly like a track and field, like
Okay.
a track, I think,
Yeah,
when I think
sports.
training field, yeah.
Sports.
Do you want to reach out to Ben?
Yeah, I'll poke
Confirm
Ben.
the Category?
Yep.
I mean, landscape architect, I doubt we have that.
I find it interesting that that was never addressed in the first building book, in the 89 building book,
Yeah, that's interesting.
because that has a very rich history.
Okay, so, community, I can move to the next one, right?
Yep.
Community Preservation Act. So this was left in our box. I'm really messy. I only have one copy. So the Open Space Committee is looking for members of certain other committees to join together for, cooperation for the Community Preservation Act. And I can read this if that's okay with you guys, since I only have one copy. So they sent this, the Douglas Open Space Committee sent this to the Cemetery Commission, the Conservation Commission, the Historic Commission, the Housing Authority, the Planning Board, and the Recreation Commission. So they would like to form a committee to work towards passing the Community Preservation Act, CPA, in Douglas. Passage of this act could provide us with more funds for historic preservation, open space, affordable housing, and recreational opportunities. Sounds good to me, that's my add-on. The eventual vote could be scheduled for the November election and fall town meeting. The town of Mendon adopted the CPA a few years ago and have been very successful in implementing its many benefits. We're lucky to have a resident from Mendon who is instrumental in the process and is willing to meet with us, explain details, and help us get started. Seeing that a member from each committee alerted here is to be a member of the final committee, it seems natural to start as a group from the beginning, hopefully gaining additional interested people along the way. And they would like someone to join them on Thursday, April 25th at 7 p.m. here in the resource room to learn more about adopting this important tool to preserve and protect our wonderful community.
Surprised we don't have that in place already, just saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
Thursday, April 25th at 7. So I am free at the moment at that time. But I think what they're getting at is they want like 1 or 2 people from cemetery, 1 or 2 from conservation, 1 or 2
Yep,
from
yep.
our group. So I don't know if anybody is willing, and David, I'm sure you can volunteer as well, even though, it might not be.
what, because I'm retired?
Well, because then you won't be involved with this group, you could still be involved, as an adjunct or whatever we want to
Yep.
call it.
I am not available that day.
Fine, I'll put it in my calendar.
Okay,
Thursday, the 25th, I'm available.
you are available. Okay.
Thursdays, I am no good.
7
Thursdays.
PM, I'll be asleep.
7 p.m.
I'll be there, but I'll be asleep.
Scott, all right, we're going to sign up Scott and David for this.
Okay.
And I'll try to get Sarah and Christy, and I'll scan this to everybody, and see
Yep.
if Sarah or Christy wants to go. Okay, but that's exciting, right? And it'd be
Yeah, that's good.
Money. And then maybe that would benefit, like this, because Scott, eventually we're gonna have to hire a consultant to get this whole downtown district done, and that's gonna cost, I don't know,
25.
25,000?
Yep.
Ouch, I was gonna say 10.
Nope, I remember it was 25.
Okay,
15 to 25, depending on how much we get done ourselves.
okay, all right, good. All right, so then something else came in the mail.
Mass Historic Commission.
Mass, again, I only have one copy, sorry. 2020, fiscal year 2024 survey and planning grants announced. So there's a link, I might have emailed this to you, and some of you probably received it, but I can forward it by email if you want. So I don't know if we're in a position to go for any grants at the moment, but
We can't.
we can't because,
Pre-application deadline, November 15th, 2023.
Yep.
okay.
Invitation for full application, 2023. Application deadline, February 5th, 2024.
Okay.
Unless they've got stuff started for next
I was
year.
gonna say, maybe we could earmark that date.
Yep, for next year.
So tell me again, in the fall?
November 15th, pre-application letter of intent deadline.
So November, I'm gonna estimate November 2024, pre-application for grants. And then we can just talk about it as we get towards that date.
And they
So if you're
have,
not part of these MHC emails, it's helpful to be a part of them because they'll know, they'll just email you when something comes up. And then sometimes there's like seminars and,
Okay.
just different information that's probably of interest to you anyway, Or when they list, if you can't figure out how to get to it, let me know.
when did they send,
So it's like the email is,
I'm trying to figure, they don't have a date when,
so it's, I'll just forward this link to you. It's long.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where the sign up link is, but you'll find it.
they don't have 25 yet. So eligible activities, completion of cultural resource inventories, nomination of significant properties to the National Register of Historic Places, completion of community-wide preservation plans, and studies, reports, publications, and projects that relate to the identification and protection of significant historic properties and sites. So the way their timelines work, pre-application, which is the letter of intent, was November 15th. Invitations for full application issued, which means that they have to invite us based on our letter of intent.
Okay.
Those are issued on December 13th. Our deadline would have been February 5th of 2024. They would have awarded the selections by March 13th, and then the project end date is June of 2025. So it looks like once they award it, you have 15 months to complete the project.
Okay, which seems reasonable with the consultant involved, right?
Right.
So everything from the letter of intent to the award selection, all of that happens within a matter of 4 months.
Okay.
So and you have about 2 months, 6 weeks to get the full application once the award is issued, or
That
once
might not be-
the invitation is
That might not
issued.
be bad, like a little more than 6 months from now, hopefully we're talking to Ben at the MHC and getting things done, and then, I don't know, we could conceivably, and then if this Community Preservation Act, maybe that's helpful for funds.
Right.
But this newsletter lists some of the recent National Register of Historic Places listing, and it lists that Lenox Apartments Historic District, so it's kind of funny, we were just talking about Lenox. Oh, and then Fall River, Durfee Textile School, Tisbury U.S. Marine Hospital at Vineyard Haven. And then there's some upcoming learning events, the establishing local historic districts. We're going to be a national register, so that's a little different. Oh, not a little different, very different. And then Vernacular Architectural Forum, New England chapter meeting in Providence.
Webster in 2023 got $12,500
Through the
through this.
grants?
Yep, for a community-wide historic preservation
Oh,
plan.
perfect. Okay. All right, good.
So I mean, there's a town similar size, well, kind of, to ours that got stuff. So,
All right, very good. So that was everything on the agenda. Oh, just one thing I wanted to share. It's not a big deal, but I think Scott and I was seen it, but the rest of you were from the letter, just with the, if you want to pass that to David. The Jenk store had gone for, well, speaking of grants, wanted to go for a grant for
Right.
the barn repair at the Jenk store, so they needed some reference letters, so they asked the commission to produce one, so this is what we sent to them, and just more of an FYI, it's been already sent.
Okay, thank you.
We'll all wish them luck and put them in our prayers. Because they,
Very good.
it's a great building, we all love it.
What's the date, what was the date on this?
I should have a date on that, shouldn't I? But, I don't know.
Generally.
A couple months ago, it was like March
Oh,
or
yeah.
February.
Yeah, I've got the email somewhere.
Fine.
I gotta organize my emails. My emails are like out of control for the Historic Commission.
Well, that must be really crazy, because I know how disorganized you are.
It's driving me bonkers. I'm like, they need to get cleaned up. Everything, I need to put things in better line. This is hurting my sensibilities.
Okay.
Very good.
So I just want to figure out our next meeting time, which we won't be able to fully figure out because we don't have Sarah and Christie here. But Scott, generally, is there a better time for you? Better day, better time of day?
This works out well,
So like a 9 AM is good?
yeah.
Okay. And tell me again what your,
My best is the 9 AMs on Thursdays or Fridays. My in-laws have been coming
Okay.
to play with Colin, so I could,
which is helpful.
which is helpful because I could actually leave on a Friday any point of the day, but Thursdays are still my best.
And Sarah likes Thursdays, and that's better for me for work, tends to take her off as the week goes on. Okay, some Fridays.
And even if everything goes through with the library, my late day is going to be Thursday, so I'm still going to have Thursday mornings as my empty time,
Okay.
which is really, will work out nicely.
So I want to say Christy said that she had one day off during the week. But I don't know, most people that don't have a flexible schedule like me are at work at 9, right? So I'll just have to see what her schedule is the week before we can do it. But we'll sort of plan on a Thursday. I just want to get a rough time frame. Like, do we want to do like that first week of May? Would be for that working session, looking at the district? Or, well, that first week of May is ugly for me. Second week of May, or do we want to, I don't know if you want to do it any sooner than that.
Like May 9th or something?
Yeah, I'm thinking the 9th.
Or
Oh,
10th.
wait, no, that's June, hold on. The 9th, I am good. I'm available.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I just have something in the afternoon, like 3 o'clock, which shouldn't affect anything.
Yeah, and my screwy hours wouldn't even start until,
The fiscal year,
yeah,
which is,
July 1st.
okay, so we have like a lot of meetings, and like the Douglastown meetings and the annual election are in May, so stuff
Yeah,
gets
okay.
voted on whatever in May, but then it starts in July 1st.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't think it's going to be a problem, because like I said, Thursdays are going to continue to be, I move to 12 to 8 on Thursdays.
Okay.
So I'd still have Thursday mornings.
Okay,
The only thing is maybe during this little break in the summer, I might do Wednesdays because Deb's got the reading program.
Okay.
That was based on our old hours, not our possible new hours, so that would be the only,
yeah, I think that will go through.
yeah. But that would also, that we can figure out when we get closer to.
So that'll be tentative till you talk to,
So I'll send an email with everybody on it,
Okay.
so we talk to Christy, because I don't know her general schedule, but if we needed to go to evenings, does people have a preference, like of what time? Because, I don't know, sometimes, like a lot of them are at 7, I'd rather do something a little earlier, like 4 or 5.
yeah, I can do, I'm open in the afternoons and evenings,
I can do
most,
5.
5.
Like, yeah.
yeah.
But I think we all prefer the morning if we can.
I just think we're not fighting with anybody for
Right.
for
For
space,
slots.
time.
And since we don't have a regular cadence like some other groups.
Yeah.
At least not at this point, so. Okay, all right, we will push for that and see what we can
Yeah. So the week that,
So like kind of tentatively May 9th at 9?
yep, the annual meeting's May 6th, and the town election is May 14th.
Right, so it's right in the middle. There'll be a lot of excitement to talk about.
There'll be a lot going on.
Okay, so I'll write these up and share them.
Can we adjourn?
Oh, yeah, we can adjourn. 10:25.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
This is perfect timing.
your last adjournment.
I'll probably still stick my head in.
I was gonna say.
I can't help it.
Yeah.